Hello everyone, welcome to MathArquiz. In this video, let me discuss indirect method or iterative method used for solving system of linear equations. System of linear equations is solved either by make use of direct method or indirect method. By make use of direct method, under this we have Gauss elimination and Gauss-Jordan methods are available to find the solution of system of linear equations. Under the indirect method, we have Gauss-Jacobi and Gauss-Seidel method and SO or successive over relaxation method are available to find the solution under iterative method or indirect method. Now, so system of linear equations can be solved either by make use of direct method or indirect method. Suppose if the system of equations is very large in number, suppose if the values of n is greater than 25, that is number of equations is more than 25, then the calculations under direct method becomes very tedious one. So, in such cases we move on to indirect method or iterative method to find the solutions of the given system of linear equations. So now in this video, I am going to explain how to find the solution of a given system of linear equations using Gauss-Seidel method. For that, first we have a short look over what is the diagonal dominant property in short. So the system of equation, here I have to take three equations with three variables x, y, z. So if this system of equation is diagonally dominant, if these are all the principal diagonal elements, the coefficient of this, that is x, y, z, here this leading diagonal element is always greater than, that its absolute value is greater than or equal to sum of the absolute values of remaining elements in that row. If so, we say the given system of equation is diagonally dominant, then we make use of the Gauss-Seidel method, that is iterative procedure to find the solution. This is what the first step we have to check initially for the given system of equations. So that is absolute A1 is greater than or equal to absolute value of B1 plus absolute value of C1, or absolute value of B2 is greater than or equal to absolute value of A2 plus absolute value of C2, or absolute value of C3 is greater than or equal to absolute value of A3 plus absolute value of B3. If it satisfies these conditions, then we understand that the given system of equation is diagonally dominant, then we proceed further. If it is not diagonally dominant, then we have to rearrange the equations. That is, within three equations, we have to rearrange the equations so that the given system becomes a diagonally dominant one. So here we have to discuss the two cases. Suppose if the given system of equation is diagonally dominant, then how to find the solution. If it is not diagonally dominant, how to find the solution. So these two are the two cases we have discussed under Gauss-Seidel method now. For that, let me first take an example. Solve the following equation using Gauss-Seidel iteration method. For that, here we have system of equations along with three variables x, y and z. Here, look at the diagonal elements. Now, we have to first verify whether the given system is diagonally dominant or not. For that, this is what our diagonal dominant property. So, absolute A1, here A1 is 8 and absolute B1. You have to take this coefficient of x, y, z along with the sign. So, minus 3, absolute value of minus 3 is plus 3 and C1 is plus 2. So, 8 is definitely greater than 5. So, this condition is satisfied. Let us move on to the second. Here B2 value is 11 and A2 value is 4 and C2 value is minus 1. So, absolute value of minus 1 is plus 1. So, 11 is greater than 5. Second condition satisfied. Look at the third. So, here the C3 value is 12 and A3 6 and B3 3. So 12 is greater than 9. So which means the given system of equation is diagonally dominant. So from the first equation we have to write for x, from the second equation we have to write for y, and from the third equation we have to write z. So the given system of equation is diagonally dominant. So we rewrite the given equation as, from the first equation we write it for x, and from the second equation, that is from first equation, x is equal to 20 minus, take these two terms to other side, plus 3y minus 2z over the coefficient of x here is 8. So divide this by 8, and from the second equation we write it for y, that is 33. Take these two terms to other side, that is minus 4x plus z over, here coefficient of y is 11, so divide this by 11, and z is equal to, so take these two terms to other side, so 35 minus 6x minus 3y over coefficient of z is 12. So we have to take these equations as equation number 1, 2 and 3. Now we start with the procedure of Gauss-Seidel method. For that, let us first take the initial approximations for y and z as 0. Here I have to take x, y, z as equations 1, 2, 3. Now we move on to the first approximation or first iteration. In the first iteration, let me first calculate the value of x. For that, for calculating the value of x, you need the value of y and z. Here we take the initial approximation for y and z as 0. So put y is equal to 0 and z is equal to 0 in equation 1. We get x is equal to 20 plus, if y becomes 0, 3 product y is 0 minus z becomes 0. Here itself you get 0. So and divide this by 8. If you divide 20 by 8, you get the value of x in the first approximation is 2.5. For the simplicity, I have to list out all these values of x, y, z in a table. So in the first iteration, so this table consists of 4 columns, whereas the first column represents the iteration, second, third and fourth column represents the values of the variables x, y and z. So in the first iteration, we have calculated the value of x as 2.5. So x is equal to 2.5. Now let me next calculate the value of y. For calculating the value of y, we need the value of x and z. For x just now, so in Gauss-Seidel method, it uses the latest available values. So for the value of x we have calculated just now, so we have to take the value of x as 2.5 for calculating the value of y. So x is equal to 2.5 and we don't have any values for z. So we have using the initial approximation, that is starting value of z as 0. So put x is equal to 2.5 and z is equal to 0. In equation 2 we have y is equal to 33 minus 4 product x value is 2.5 plus z value is 0. So divide this by 11. Simplifying this, you get the value of y as 2.091. So for the value of y here is 2.091. Now to calculate the value of z next we calculate the value of z. So to calculate the value of z, we need the values of x and also y. So for the values of x, y, we have used the latest available values. Just now we have calculated the values of x and y. So we make use of these two values, that is x and y values. So we make use of these two values and calculate the value of z. So by substituting x is equal to 2.5 and y is equal to 2.091 in equation 3, we get z is equal to 35 minus 6 product x value is 2.5 minus 3 product y value is 2.091 whole divided by 12. And you simplifying this, you get the value of z as 1.144. So the value of z here is, by make use of this x and y value, the value of z is 1.144. So in the first approximation, we get the value of x as 2.5 and y is equal to 2.091 and z is equal to 1.144. Now let me show you how to calculate these values using calculator. Now let me start with the value of x. 20, divide this by 8. 20 divided by 8, you get 2.5. So we get the value of x is 2.5. Then next we move on to the calculation part of y. 33 minus, within parenthesis you make the product of 4 product 2.5, close the parenthesis, and which equals 23, and you divide this value by 11, you get 2.0909 etc. So here we have to take up to 3 decimal places. So 2.090 up to we have to take, but in the 4th decimal places we have 9. If it is 5 or greater than 5, we have to add 1 with the previous decimal, isn't it? So 2.091. So the value of y in the first approximation is 2.091. And let us now move on to the calculation part of z. So 35 minus, within parenthesis you make the product of 6 product 2.5, close the parenthesis, minus, within parenthesis you have 3 product 2.091, close the parenthesis, which equals 13.727, and you divide this by 12, you get 1.1439 etc. So here we have to take up to 3 decimal places, so 1.143. So look at the 4th decimal, it has the value 9, so you have to add 1 with the preceding values, that is 1.144. So for the value of z we have 1.144. Now let me move on to next iteration. So in the second approximation, we make use of the values of, because in the second approximation we first calculate the value of x. So in the second approximation we first calculate the value of x. So for calculating this value of x, we need the value of y and z. For the values of y and z, we make use of the previous iteration values, that is 2.091 as the y value and 1.144 as the z value. So you have to put y is equal to 2.091 and z is equal to 1.144 in equation 1. You get x is equal to 20 plus, within parenthesis you make the product 3 product y value is 2.091 minus 2 product 1.144 and divide this by 8, and simplifying this you get the value of x as 2.998. Next, for calculating the value of y, we need the values of x and z. For calculating this value of y, we need the value of x and z. For the value of x, we have calculated just now. Don't take the previous iteration value of x, because we take this current value. That is the latest available value of x is 2.998. So we make use of this value of x, and z value we make use of the previous iteration value, that is 1.144. So by taking x is equal to 2.998 and z is equal to 1.144, substituting x is equal to 2.998 and z is equal to 1.144 in equation 2, we get y is equal to 33 minus, within parenthesis 4 product x value 2.998 plus z value 1.144 and divide this by 11, and you simplifying this you get the value of y as 2.014. So you get the value of y as 2.014. And next we calculate the value of z. for calculating the value of z, we need the values of x and y. We make use of the latest available values of x, y, that is we make use of these two values of x, y, not these values. So we doesn't need any previous iteration values for calculating the value of z. So we need to calculate the value of z by make use of the latest available values of x and y, that is by make use of this x and y values we calculate the value of z, that is by substituting x is equal to 2.998 and y is equal to 2.014 in equation 3, we get z is equal to 35 minus 6 product x value 2.998 minus 3 product y value 2.014, and you divide this by 12, you get the value of z as, after simplifying, z is equal to 0.914. So z value is 0.914. So now we calculated the values of x, y, z in the second iteration or second approximation. So the values of x, y, z as 2.998, 2.014, 2.914 as the values of x, y and z. So now you have to compare these values of x, y, z with the previous iteration values and check whether it coincides exactly with x, y, z up to 3 decimal places or not. Here none of the values coincide up to 3 decimal places compared with its previous iteration value. So we move on to the next approximation. So before that, let me show you how to calculate these values of x, y and z using calculator. Now let me start with the value of x, 20 plus within parenthesis 3 product 2.091 close the parenthesis minus within parenthesis we have 2 product 1.144 close the parenthesis, and which equals 23.985, and you divide this by 8, you get 2.998125. Here we have to take up to 3 decimal places, so 2.998. And next we calculate the value of y. So 33 minus within parenthesis 4 product 2.998 close the parenthesis plus 1.144, which equals 22.152, and you divide this by 11, so you get 2.013 etc. Here we have to take up to 3 decimal places, so in the 4th decimal places you have 8, so if it is so you have to add 1 with the previous decimal. So 2.014 is the value of y here we have to take. Next we calculate the value of z, 35 minus within parenthesis you have 6 product 2.998 close the parenthesis minus within parenthesis you have 3 product 2.014 close the parenthesis, which equals, and you divide this value by 12. So you get 0.914166 etc. Here we have to take up the 3 decimal places, so 0.914 it is. Now let me move on to the next iteration. Since the values of the second iteration is not coincide with the first iteration value, so let me now move on to the next iteration. So in the third approximation or third iteration, we first calculate the value of x. For calculating the value of x, we need the values of y and z. For that we make use of the previous iteration values of y and z. So that is by taking y is equal to 2.014 and z is equal to 0.914 in equation 1, we get x is equal to, by substituting these values in equation 1, we get 20 plus within parenthesis 3 product y, that is 2.014 minus within parenthesis 2 product 0.914, and you divide this by 8. Simplifying this, you get the value of x is 3.027. that is x value here is 3.027, and next we calculate the value of y. For calculating the value of y, we need the value of x and z. For that we make use of the latest available value of x, that is 3.027 as the x value, and z value we take the previous iteration value of z as the z value, and substituting in equation 2, that is y is equal to 33 minus 4 within parenthesis 4 product 3.027 plus z value is 0.914, and you divide this by 11, and simplifying this you get the value of y is 1.982, just 1.982. Next, for the calculation of z value, we need the values of x and y. So for that we make use of the current values, that is the latest available values of x as 3.027 and y is equal to 1.982 as the x and y values, and substituting this in equation 3, we get z is equal to 35 minus within parenthesis 3 product 3.027 minus within parenthesis 3 product y value 1.982, and you divide these values by 12, you get, after simplifying this, you get the value of z is 0.908. So these are the values of x, y, z we have calculated in the third iteration, that is 3.027, 1.982, 0.908 as the x, y and z values. Compare these values with the previous iteration values, whether it coincides exactly with x, y, z values in the previous iteration. So here these values doesn't coincide with values of x, y, z in the previous iteration. So we move on to the next iteration. Before that, let me show you how to calculate these values using calculator. Let me start with the value of x, 20 plus within parenthesis 3 product 2.014 close the parenthesis minus within parenthesis 2 product 0.914 close the parenthesis, which equals 24.214, and you divide this by the value 8, you get 3.0267. So we have to take up to 3 decimal places. So in the fourth decimal we have 7. So you have to add 1 with the previous decimal. So 3.027 is the value of x. Next we calculate the value of y. 33 minus within parenthesis 4 product 3.027 close the parenthesis plus 0.914, which equals 21.806, and you divide this by 11, you get 1.982. So here fourth decimal we have 3, so we have to take as it is up to 3 decimal. So 1.982 as the value of y. Next, for the calculation of z, 35 minus within parenthesis 6 product 3.027 close the parenthesis minus within parenthesis you have 3 product 1.982 close the parenthesis, and which equals 10.892, and you divide this value by 12, you get 0.9076 etc. So in the fourth decimal here you have 6, so you have to add 1 with the previous decimal. So 0.908 is the value of z. Now let me move on to the next iteration. In the fourth iteration, we first calculate the value of x. For calculating the value of x, we need the value of y and z. For that we make use of the previous iteration values of y and z. So by substituting the values of x is equal to 1.982 and z is equal to 0.908 in equation 1, we get x is equal to 20 plus within parenthesis 3 product y. 1.982 is the value of y minus 2 product is 0.908. And you divide this by 8. And simplifying this, you get x is equal to 3.016. And then next, for calculating the value of y, we need the values of x and z. We make use of the latest available value of x is 3.016 as the value of x, and z value is the previous iteration value of z, that is 0.908. So in equation 2, we have to substitute these two values. We get y is equal to 33 minus within parenthesis 4 product x value is 3.016 plus z value 0.908. And you divide this by 11, and simplifying this, you get the value of y is 1.986. And next we calculate the value of z. For that we make use of x and y, that is the latest available value of these two values of x and y, and substitute in equation 3. You get the value of z is equal to 35 minus 6 product x value is 3.016 minus within bracket 3 product 1.986, and you divide this by 12. Simplifying this value of z, you get the value of z is 0.912. So the value of z here is 0.912. So now you have to compare this values of x, y, z with the previous iteration values and check whether it's coincide exactly with up to 3 decimal places. So here the values of x 3.0 up to 1 decimal places it coincide, here itself up to 2 decimal places. The value of y here coincide up to 2 decimal places, here the value of z coincide up to 1 decimal place. So which means we arrive near to the solution, but this is not the exact solution we need. So we move on to the next iteration. Since it doesn't coincide exactly with 3 decimal places, so up to 3 decimal places it doesn't coincide with the values of x, y, z. So we move on to the next iteration value. And before that, let me show you how to calculate these values using calculator. Let me now start with the value of x 20 plus within parenthesis 3 product 1.982 close the parenthesis minus within parenthesis 2 product 0.908 close the parenthesis, and which equals 24.13, and you divide this by 8, you get 3.01625. Here we take up to 3 decimal places, so 3.016 as the value of x. And for the value of y, 33 minus within parenthesis 4 product 3.016 close the parenthesis plus 0.908. So you get the value as 21.844, and you divide this by 11, you get 1.9858. So in the fourth decimal here you have 8, so you add 1 with the previous decimal, so 1.986 as the value of y. Next for the value of z, 35 minus within parenthesis 6 product 6 product 3.016 close the parenthesis minus within parenthesis 3 product y value is 1.986 close the parenthesis, and which equals 10.946, and you divide this by 12, you get 0.912166. So here we have to take up to 3 decimal places, so 0.192 is the value of z. Let me move on to the next iteration. Since the values of x, y, z doesn't coincide with these values of x, y, z up to 3 decimal places, so we move on to the next iteration. So in the fifth approximation or fifth iteration, we first calculate the value of value of x. So for that we need the values of y and z. So we make use of the previous iteration values of y and z. Substituting these values of y and z in equation 1, you get x is equal to 20 plus 3 product y 1.986 minus 2 product z 0.912, and you divide this by 8, and simplifying this you get the value of x as 3.017, and for calculating the value of y you need the value of x and z. So here we make use of the current available value of x is 3.017 and z value is the previous iteration value of z. So by make use of these two values, you calculate the value of y and substitute these values of x and z in equation 2. You get y is equal to 33 minus 4 product 3.017 plus z is 0.912, and you divide this by 11, and simplifying this you get 1.986. So as the value of y, and next we calculate the value of z. For that we make use of x and y value, that is the current available values of these two. So by substituting these two values of x and y in equation 3, we get z is equal to 35 minus 6 product 3.017 minus 3 product 1.986, and you divide this by 12, and simplifying this you get the value of z as 0.912. So now compare these values of x, y, z with the previous iteration value. So for the value of x, here it coincides up to 2 decimal places, but for the value of y it exactly coincides with each other, and for the value of z itself it exactly coincides with each other. Only the deviation is x value doesn't coincide up to 3 decimal places. So which means we move on to the next iteration. So before that, let me show you how to calculate these values using calculator. Let me now move on to the next iteration. Since the value of x, y, z doesn't coincide with the previous iteration values, so let's now move on to the 6th iteration. So in the 6th approximation or 6th iteration, we first calculate the value of x. For that we need the values of y and z. We make use of the previous iteration values of y and z. So by substituting these values in equation 1, we get x is equal to 20 plus 3 product y 1.986 minus 2 product z value 0.912, and you divide this by 8, and you simplifying this you get the value of x is 3.017. And for calculating next the value of y, you need the value of x and z. For that we make use of the current available value of x 3.017 and previous iteration value of z, and substituting this in equation 2, you get y is equal to 33 minus 4 product 3.017 plus z value 0.912, and you divide this value by 11, and simplifying this you get the value of y is 1.986. And for calculating next z value, you need the value of x and y. For that we make use of the current available values of these two values of x and y, and substitute in equation 3, we get z is equal to 35 minus 6 product 3.017 minus within parenthesis 3 product y value 1.986, and you divide this by 12, you get, after simplifying the value of z as 0.912. Now look at the values of x, y, z. Here 3.017 as the x value, 1.986 as the y value, and 0.912 as the z value. Compare these values with the previous iteration value, that is all the values of x, y and z exactly coincide with the values of x, y, z in the previous iteration value, which means we have arrived at the solution. We stop the process up to this. So we get the solution of x as 3.017 and y as 1.986 and z as 0.912. So before that, let me show you how to calculate these values using calculator. Let me now start with the value of x, 20 plus 3 product 1.986 close the parenthesis minus within parenthesis 2 product 0.912 close the parenthesis, which equals 24.134, and you divide this by 8, you get 3.0167 etc. Here we have to take up to 3 decimal places, so 3.017. Next, for calculating the value of y, 33 minus within parenthesis 4 product 3.017 close the parenthesis plus 0.912, which equals 21.844, and you divide this by 11, you get the value of y as 1.9858 etc. Here we have to take up to 3 decimal places. So in the fourth decimal you have 8. So add 1 with the previous decimal. So 1.986 as the y value. Next, for z, 35 minus within parenthesis 6 product 3.017 close the parenthesis minus within parenthesis 3 product 1.986 close the parenthesis, which equals 10.94, and you divide this by 12, you get 0.911 etc. Here we have to take up to 3 decimal. So in the fourth decimal you have 6, so you add 1 with the previous decimal, 0.912 as the value of z. So now we arrived at the solution. So the value of x is 3.017 and y is 1.996 and z is 0.192. So next part, checking or verifying your answer by yourself. So you have to substitute these values in either one of these equations, that is either one of the given equation. This is what our given equation. So you have to substitute these values of x, y, z in any one of these equations and check whether your answer coincides with the right hand side. That is, substitute these values of x, y, z in the left hand side and check whether it coincides with the values of right hand side values. So you can substitute in any way one of the equations. Let me first show you how to substitute these values and check your answer by yourself. Let me take this first equation. So 8x, that is 8 product x values 3.017 close the parenthesis minus within parenthesis 3 product y values 1.986 close the parenthesis plus z values 2 product 0.912 close the parenthesis, and which equals 20.002. Here we doesn't get an exact answer, we calculate only the approximate values of x, y, z up to 3 decimal places. So here we get 20.002. So this approximately equals 20, isn't it? So likewise you have to substitute in the second and third equation, whatever that means, you get the values like this, approximate values. So likewise you have to verify your answer by yourself. So this is how you calculate the values of x, y, z and check the values of x by z by yourself. Let me now move on to next example. Solve the following equation using Gauss-Seidel method. Here the system of equations are given. Look at this system. Now first we have to check, before using Gauss-Seidel method, first we have to check whether the given system satisfies the diagonal dominant property or not. So for that, a1 value is 27 and b1 is 6 and c1 is minus 1. So absolute value of minus 1 is plus 1. So 27 is greater than 7. So it satisfies the diagonal dominant property. Look at the second equation here, b2 is 1, whereas a2 is 1 and c2 is 52. So 1 plus 54, so it is not either greater or equal to the right hand side value. So the second condition is not satisfied. Look at the third, here c3 is 2, but a3 and b3 are 6 and 15. So these values, that is 2 is neither greater or equal the right hand side value. So it doesn't satisfy the third condition. So the given system doesn't satisfy the diagonal dominant property, which means we have to rearrange the given equation. So leave the first equation because it satisfies the diagonal dominant property. So we have to rearrange within second and third equations. So you have to write down the first equation as it is 27x plus 6y minus z is equal to 85. Whereas in the third equation you have to interchange these two equations. So you have to write down the third equation as a second, that is 6x plus 15y plus 2z as a second equal to 72 as a second equation, and write down the second equation as a third equation, that is x plus y plus 54z is equal to 110. Now look at the principal diagonal elements and check whether it satisfies the diagonally dominant property. No need to check for the first equation, so we doesn't change the first equation. So look at the second equation here, the B2 is 15 and right hand side, and A2 and C2 is 6 and 2. So 15 is greater than 8, satisfies the second condition. Look at the third equation, here C3 is 54 and A3 and B3 is 1 plus 1 itself, so definitely it's strictly greater than. So this system satisfies. After rearranging given equation, this satisfies the diagonally dominant property. So system equation doesn't satisfy diagonally dominant property, so we have to rewrite the given equations, and after rewriting the given equations we get these equations, and from this equation you write the values of x, y and z and calculate these values by taking the initial approximation first as y and z is equal to 0, and proceed in the same way as we do in case of previous problem. You get the values of x, y, z, and the solution for this problem is x equal to 2.426, y is equal to 3.573 and z is equal to 1.926. So the calculation part, I left the calculation part for your practice. So complete the remaining procedure as we do in case of the previous problem. With this we get the solution in the successive iterations, that is x, y, z values. After that you have to check the answer or verify the answer by yourself by substituting this in any one of the given equations. So with this, hope you got a clear idea about how to solve the given system of equations using Gauss-Seidel method. If it satisfies the diagonally dominant property, or if it doesn't satisfy the diagonally dominant property, in these two cases you got a clear idea about how to calculate the solution using Gauss-Seidel iteration method. Thanks for watching. See you again in my next video.